Oh, Tashi Dele. Hello, everybody. I hope you are well, and welcome back to the session. So we start with a few moments of breathing exercise to settle ourselves in the present moment, get ready for the teaching. Yeah, so then now take a moment to refresh our refuge practice in Guru Buddha Dharma Sangha. Try to reflect as vivid as possible the qualities, the characteristics of the Guru Buddha Dharma Sangha, and get inspired and oneself ready to commit one's entire existence, in particularly this life, whole life. Then this particularly, I would say, particular this year, this month, this week, this day, and this very session, solely, completely, sincerely, wholeheartedly, only for the benefit of numberless sentient beings without any discrimination, without leaving out even a one single worm, by one's entire actions of body, speech, and mind, completely engaging in the virtuous conduct, that which are the causes of sentient beings' happiness, that start from yourself and your loved ones and the humanity and animals and the rest of the sentient beings. The meaning is this. When you want to put in the word, then this is the the motivation of altruistic attitude, or the bodhicitta motivation. So try to, if you already have, such attitude, then strengthen it and develop. Until we become Buddha, the bodhicitta is to be developed. There's endless higher qualities of the altruism has to be developed until we achieve omniscient attitude. So those who have not cultivated such dedication and motivation, then take the opportunity now to set the directions of one's existence in this way, like the Bodhisattvas, like compassionate, Bodhisattva Chenrezig, like the Bodhisattva Tara, Then Bodhisattva Maitri, Bodhisattva Manjushri, Bodhisattva Vajapani, through the cultivation and development of Buddhi mind, altruism, who they become now as a Buddha, Buddha Charisi, Buddha Maitreya, Buddha Tara, Buddha Vajapani, etc., like that. So follow the footsteps of the past Buddhas and also the gurus, like the enlightened gurus, like His Holiness Dalai Lama, like Kyabjan Lama Sopa Rinpoche, because of when they were ordinary, like us, started with the cultivation of aspirational altruism. Simply, started with carrying the attitude of Bodhisattva's way of thinking and trying their very best to infuse their actions of body, speech, and mind. And now they become perfect guru, who is the Buddha, you see. So like that. And those of anyone that who have cultivated altruism before, not only set such a motivation, but on top of that, even took commitment, like Buddhist vows, but then, due to the negative force, laziness, distraction, then if those aspirations are degenerated, then take the opportunity to refresh them, revive them. Yeah, so do that, okay? Sangye che tang so je zon na la janju ba do dani ja zon je da je jin so je be zon nam je lo la ben je sangye du bar sangye che tang so je chon nam la janju ba do dani ja zon je da je jin so je be zon nam je lo la ben je sangye du bar jo sangye che tang so je chon nam la janju ba do dani ja zon je da je jin so je be zon nam je lo la ben je sangye du bar jo. Kangi doje ne zone dawa damje bambe jire dambe june denje ba godam dela jaze lo donyi ninje sundo ju be lam seje zenje kanji dende ge chana be mo denje jazo la sowa dezo da ju jinje lo semje damje dewa da dewe ju dan dembra ju je semje damje dunga da dunga je ju dan dawa ju je semje damje dunga mebe dewa da mi dawa ju je semje damje nire cha da ni dan dawe danyon la ne bra ju ro je semje damje dewa da dewe ju dan dembra ju je semje damje dunga da dunga je ju dan dawa ju je semje damje dunga mebe dewa da mi dawa ju je semje damje nire cha da ni dan dawe danyon la ne bra ju ro je. Oh yeah. Just take a few moments to meditate on gratitude. The gratitude towards meritorious opportunity that we are having. Gratitude towards that we are still alive. Gratitude towards understanding that this very precious human rebirth not perish in last week after we last met before. We are like the real situations of our life is very much like a fully air balloon rapidly floating in the in the needle house, in the needle pokey house, from 10 direction, needle facing towards the balloon, and that balloon is rapidly blown by air. So anytime can be bursts, poke and burst, like that. Our actual nature of life is so fragile like that, so impermanent like that. But we are able to come through, and we still not just come through, and some more that we are extracting the most beneficial thing in life, which is accumulating virtue through Dharma discourse, in particularly the greatest Dharma, the altruistic Dharma. So that itself is, unbelievable reason for us to genuinely feel so happy, so fortunate, so grateful. So grateful to yourself because of our own continuum have accumulated meritorious karma, to overcome those challenges, those obstacles for life, and also the continuous mindfulness, reframing from non-virtues, then from dangers. That's why we are able to, come up to this very day like that. Yeah. So feel fortunate and feel grateful. And then the reason for that is strengthen our motivation to cultivate the Dharma again. Okay, thank you. So we will start the teaching, and we are still studying Will of Sharp Weapon by Dhammarakshita, and we are on the page 137. We have completed verse up to 25, and today we will start from verse 26. So as I have been mentioning, the teaching on well of sharp weapon, this verses is like a mirror or magnifying glass to see, very close up and thoroughly of looking into our present experiences in the life, to know exactly, what are the causes that we committed in the past, and at the same time to understand if such experiences we do not wish to experience again, then to prevent, committing such actions, such actions again. So, from that point of view, the teachings is very powerful as a gathering wisdom, to purify the past karma, and at the same time gain protection from future sufferings. So the verse 26 and verse 25 is a similar, very, very, very similar content. So verse 26, it says, when my body is struck suddenly by contagious diseases, it is the weapon of evil karma turning upon me for committing acts that undermine my solemn pledges. From now on, I will renounce non-virtues. Mm. So the verse 25 is very much, chronic diseases, talking about chronic diseases. Here, the sudden, struck sudden by contagious diseases is very much referring to, it's contagious, but it's lighter diseases, like such as, can understood, like such as an example, like flu, diarrhea, headache, muscle aches, etc. When we talk about the physical aspect, then when we talk about the mental disease, then the roller coaster like emotional ups and downs that which trouble us so much. Just while everything is going right, but then suddenly, feel very moody, feel very down, and don't even know the reason, just become so down, like that. So, and these are an example. So if such thing happens, then is the karma, past karma, committing act that undermining the solemn pledges, meaning transgressing, our promises, breaking virtuous promises, like such as precepts and vows, whether to do with religious practice and the precepts and vows, or and the natural, the natural karmic law, cause and effect. Such as the action that by nature is harmful, then by nature that should be abandoned, that should be reframed. The nature that by nature the action is beneficial, and then that to be adopted. It comes in our way to be adopted, to be cultivated, not to be discarded, not to be reframed. You see, so these are like the natural pledges. Natural pledges. One may think that how do I pledge like that? The reason that the what I'm trying to understand here is our what I call our innate being. Our innate being is Buddha. Our innate being carry the Buddha nature. Our innate being is not sin, not negative, not delusion, not ignorant, not negative, not false. You see, so therefore, from innate being, we carry this value of harmony with virtue, value that which always disharmony with the non-virtue. So this is inborn quality that we carry, and that is the natural pledge. It's not like it's like you promise verbally, not like that. You see, so there are like refuge vow, Buddhist vows, etc. You have to pledge. Those are religious pledges. So, so therefore, so all these inconvenience comes in our way, this contagious diseases comes in our way, by not accumulating those deeds which are harmonious with our innate nature, and by committing those disharmonious conducts by ourselves through our body, speech, and mind, makes us accumulate causes and conditions for us to suddenly struck by like contagious diseases, even like a flu, even like headache, even like stomach pain, even like a ups and down in emotion, disturbances like that. So if we don't appreciate even flu, flu can be, we normally think that flu maybe because of some virus, because of weather changes, or because of not wearing warm clothes, or etc. We tend to blame outside. We tend to blame something, external condition that must have caused to get flu, or maybe like eating wrong food. Then you get diarrhea. We tend to blame to the wrong food. How many restaurants are sued by people who got a stomach problem after having a nice meal, isn't it? Plenty, and that ultimately, when the karmic point of view, is nothing out there, even that restaurant to be blamed. Is ultimately is your own karma, your own karma. That is the seed, that is the karmic seed that put oneself encounter the condition of that particular restaurant and the wrong food, then suffer stomach pain, like that. So so now to avoid such kind of experiences, and only wish to experience perfect health, perfect mental health, physical health, and no question about coronavirus, etc. Not even wish to experience flu and headache, etc. Then observe pure vows, observe our commitments, observe our commitment perfectly. If there's any transgression, first make sure the vows are pledged not to transgress. So we have to put extra effort after taking the vow. Any promises, we have to keep it in 100% level. But if in case unintentionally, accidentally broken the pledges, then we cannot delay even a moment to revive the pledges and precepts. Cannot delay even a moment for the purification of those broken precepts and commitments. So that is the way how we can able to secure at least our future times, that we don't have to suffer. You see. So therefore, it states from now on we'll renounce non-virtues. So renounce non-virtues of those by its nature. Renounce non-virtues those of through pledges, through commitments, like such as religious pledges. So we renounce, transgressing them, not abiding them, so like that. So like what Nagarjuna said in the Precious Garland, say much suffering comes through harming. Non-virtue means harmful actions of thought, of speech, and of body. You see, so the pledges are to protect, refrain us from harming. Refrain us expressing harmful actions of our body, speech, and mind. So therefore, like Nagarjuna rightly said, much sufferings, mental, physical sufferings, comes through harming. You see. So now, when you talk about harming, not only other, as long as entire existence, basically entire existence, whether it's a living being or living thing, that we have to refrain from causing harm. So when we talk about causing harm, harm to make things unnatural. There are certain things make it unnatural, like destroying the natural plants, destroying natural land, destroying natural sea, destroying the natural atmosphere. All these are harming. All these are non-virtues. You see, uh, uh, so that is one called harming. So therefore, when we say harming, not only towards living being. So now living being, they are divine living being and ordinary living being. Okay, so not only we cannot harm to ordinary sentient beings, those vulnerable ones, we also have to refrain from causing harm to the divine one, like Buddhas, like gurus, Dharma, Sangha, like that. You see. So if our action cause directly or indirectly such harm, of not being mindful of reframing, of any direct or indirect harm, then either knowingly or without knowingly, our mental continuum, accumulate fruitful causes that which will result, sufferings, sicknesses, diseases, like that. Then Nagarjuna also said, from non-virtues come all suffering, and likewise all bad transmigrations. From the same text it says, you see. So hell realm, hungry ghosts, animal realm, lower realm, the rebirth in cyclic existence are because of the non-virtues, because of the harmful actions, you see, because of not gathering virtues, which are the causes for freedom from suffering, freedom from samsara, you see. So like that. Then verse 27, when my intellect become ignorant of all field of knowledge, it is the weapon of evil karma turning upon me for persisting in activities that must be cast aside. From now on, I will cultivate the insight of learning and so on. When my intellect become ignorant a field of knowledge. So whenever we study, whenever we learn, here the learning is referred to learning of the Dharma wisdom, learning of Dharma wisdom. So it's studying Dharma. So whenever we tend to study Dharma, then the ignorant, like in the form of dullness, or in the form of dullness, the mind blocking to understand the meaning. When we study, just cannot understand. Just cannot get the point. So this is what talking about. Then even we understand what it's talking about, but when we analyze it, when we investigate for further understanding, to gain further wisdom, somehow either just lose interest, fall asleep, or just like mind is like completely get hallucinated or foggy, or get distracted. Somehow there's other things just intrude into your mind. Then when you meditate, first of all, the moment you meditate, you feel lazy. The moment you meditate, you feel so lousy. The moment you meditate, you fall asleep. The moment you meditate, the mind just fly away everywhere. Or the moment you meditate, the mind just completely like become blank, blank. So how much you meditate, there's no result of realization. You see, so if such thing happens, then this is the weapon of persisting in activity that must be cast aside. What are the activity that should be cast aside? Those activity like, and this one is very much talking about whenever we are put onto the put in the position to choose. Whenever we put a position to choose from Dharma and the worldly, then we tend to choose worldly. Such kind of persisting activity will cloud our mind. You see, will cloud our mind, will bring obstacle for us when we pursue the Dharma knowledge, Dharma benefit. Our intellectual capability will be always obscure. You see, and such as such as the act of neutral action and the Dharma action. Neutral action and virtue action. If given a choice, then you choose the neutral action rather than choosing the Dharma action. Also create such karma. Then from a Dharma virtue and from an ordinary virtue, given a choice, you say, "Oh, Dharma virtue is too difficult." That is like more of, it's kind of like it's a creative mind's way of like emphasis is there's no such thing. But I still appreciate like like such as being generous, like say giving food to the hungers, giving medicine to the sick. But when it comes to talk about the generosity of Dharma, then you say, "Oh, those are just generosity of Dharma." Let's say generosity of Dharma. An example, equipping the altruistic motivation or cultivating altruism. Let's say if you want to suggest someone that who is so kind and generous to give food and medicine to the needy one, and if you happen to suggest them, you are already so kind. It would be even wonderful if you do the charity with the altruistic mind, with the bodhicitta mind. Then the merit will be immensely great, and the benefit to the receiver also, there will be the benefit of ultimate benefit of enlightenment. Then if you happen to be in that position and you reply, "Oh, I don't believe in that. I just giving the material gift that is ultimate." So even here also create a karma. Then another example is, you see, what counts is, material and physical, material gift. Rest is nonsense. Rest is discount. People do things like that. It's a no need. There's no greater thing to make it even more beneficial. So that kind of obstacle comes in our way. That also result of a past karma. The karmic action similar to the result, which is similar act. Such causes have committed in the past. You see, so like that. Then let's say another example is, someone, you have a too close friend. You have a too close friend, equally dear friend. And the same time, let's say an example, 2:00, one friend is organizing for you to attend Dharma discourses. One friend organizing a beer party, wine beer party, disco dancing, beer and wine party. So you have a choice. So both friends just openly, kindly say, "Okay, there's a Dharma, there's a Dharma session going on, you are welcome to join. The other one say, oh, there's a beer session going on, you are welcome to join. Then you think, Dharma session, maybe I can attend that other time. Maybe I can listen to the YouTube. Maybe, that's I understand. Same thing. Repeated the same thing. All Dharma. You listen here, you listen there. You read this text, you read that text. At the end of the day, same thing. So, the beer in hot weather. Wow, 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 wow. Even though you already had many beer before, similar type of beer, maybe the same from the same container, but this is so precious, this is nectar, this is like, so then you choose, even that, it can be very serious, even that, so this is the karma. Persisting the activity that must be cast aside. So within the comparison, so you choose, that one, because beer got alcohol, otherwise drinking beer, there's nothing wrong, nothing wrong. Beer got alcohol. That alcohol is it has a negative impact. The alcohol aspect, the beer. Otherwise, beer without alcohol, maybe. I mean, if there's no health harm, then it's okay. There's nothing wrong, the alcohol, again, it is. It has a special effect, to the karma. You see, so now the Dharma discourse, maybe something blah blah blah, but Dharma discourse is really conducting Dharma discourse. By nature, the Dharma has again a special benefit. It has a special benefit again to the karma. It has a benefit to the karma. Because of that, when you weighing the disadvantage from the alcohol, not from the gathering, but from the alcohol, then the advantage not from the gathering, but from the Dharma, then the Dharma is far more precious, beneficial. So we have to choose the Dharma. We have to choose the Dharma. But if you choose the beer party on top of the Dharma, you create the persisting in activity that must be cast aside. Okay, so like that. Yeah. So hopefully, whenever next time someone invite you for the beer party, then where you are completely free, nothing is going on, then maybe lesser, even though the alcohol is still there, the effect of alcohol is still there, which is contribute to the negative side of the karma, but still, you are not choosing over something that has a great advantage, like that. So from now on, I will cultivate insight of learning and so on. So from now on, meaning, always choose over this. Always choose that has a ultimate benefit, or at least greater benefit, in virtue. As someone as a practitioner of Dharma, in particularly practitioner of the Mayanic Dharma, then always have to choose the highest Dharma, which meaning any form of activity that infused by bodhicitta, altruistic wisdom and altruistic attitude. You see, is not being biased, but when put in a position that there's a lower vehicle of sutra, discourse, and there is the sutra discourse from the altruistic vehicle. If you are put in a position to choose, you have to choose the altruistic one. Is of course, if you can manage both, then you create the merit from the both. But you as one person, you cannot divide, isn't it? So when you come to position like choose like that, you choose the greater advantage, like even within the virtue. is like that, you know. Yeah. When someone when you come to a position, let's say, even though, you know, practicing of tantra is very very sophisticated, you know, very serious thing, and it requires a lot of prerequisite. But then we come into a life that, you know, your heart get dilemma. You know, you've been practicing sutra for a long time, and you have a interest and basic, you know, understanding of what provide from tantra. Then it's still that you are kind of, you're more comfortable, you know, you are more like relaxed, less commitment to remain in the sutra. Then you don't put extra effort to grab the practice of tantra. Even that also create a karma. You see, whenever it comes to comparison, if no comparison, then there's no contribution of a karma in the negative side, you know, like that. Even in the virtue, you see. So you have to choose. You have to choose the greatest advantage, greatest virtue, you know, comparing to the lesser one. So I have to be very courageous, and there's a great meaning there, because the precious human rebirth, you know, it's like a star in the daytime. You know, it just appear once. You know, from its causes, from its example, you know, from all aspect, to obtain precious human rebirth is so rare. You see, and also we understand, if once miss the opportunity from this precious human rebirth, this life, and understanding the way how we commit the karma, majority of our karma from the past lifetime is negative. And even in this lifetime, the amount of virtue we accumulate compared to the meritorious deeds are very limited. So it's quite a clear sign that, you know, very much that our life will go to the lower realm. So once we fall into lower realm, can you imagine how many numbers of lives or even eons will stuck there, may not able to get out to obtain another opportunity like this. So therefore, if we are unable to take the full advantage of this precious human rebirth to get liberated completely from entire oceans of samsara and its causes, then, you know, we lost the biggest thing, biggest opportunity that came in our way, you know. So due to this reason, when thinking about the preciousness and the opportunity we have to be courageous enough to practice complete Dharma and practice the highest Dharma, you know, meaning, you know, like from the sutras and tantra, yes, we need to practice, like we must also, you know, grab the practice of tantra, at the same time, you know, taking serious about the practice of the Vinaya, practice of sutra, you know, all the earlier yanas teachings also take serious to cultivate. You know, that's called the entire Dharma. So have the courage to have the wisdom and courage to take all the earlier yanas practices as a basis of the higher practices. So therefore, not to be discarded, rather should learn and practice. The practice of this Mahayanic Sutrayana take as a body practice, take as a the structures of your body practice. You know, like a hard practice. How to say? Yeah, the main practice of the body. Then, yeah, main practice of the body means main cultivation of, you know, your pursuit of the practices. Then, as a tantra, you practice like the crown, like the heart. You know, like the heart. Or in other words, you know, all the earlier yanas practices you take as a practice of the foundation of the house. Then the Mahayanic Dharma you practice as the wall and the pillars of the house. Pillars, walls, and windows, and doors, and all the furniture and all of the house. Then the Tantra practice, you practice like the roof of the house, So with all this come together, you have a complete house, isn't it like that? So you have a complete practice. And you still crown the greatest, the hardest, most profound practice as a crown, the completion practice, like that. So, yeah. So this is what it means. From now on, I will cultivate the insight of learning and so on. Okay. Just now I was talking about the beer. You see, the dullness and the hallucination of the mind, whenever we study Dharma, that comes in our way, including like keep falling asleep, etc. There's a karmic link to intoxication, like such as the alcohol. Like what Nagarjuna says again in Precious Garland, drinking to confusion of the mind. Drinking to confusion of the mind. So the alcohol, you see, some people may think that you drink a little bit, then it doesn't confuse you. It doesn't bring confusion. Here, the confusion is talking about the confusion to the subtle consciousness. Our subtle consciousness will be clouded when we commit the karma of taking intoxication, including alcohol. You see, so therefore, Buddha have said in the Vinaya Sutra, if you are a follower of me, then you don't even taste the drip from the straw, of alcohol. Using the right straw, drip in the alcohol, then you taste it. Even don't do that. If you are a follower of me, Buddha said that. Now you see. Then some of you may raise question. Then how about during Guru Puja? You take the nectar, isn't it? You use alcohol, isn't it? But that's why when we do Guru Puja, it is necessary to have at least one person that who already have high Sukhi Tantric initiation. Either Yametaka, Vajrayogini, Heruka, Goya Samaja, etc. At least someone there who has high Sukhi Tantric initiation. Then so that person, will be the Vajra master. It doesn't matter whether lay person or Sangha, doesn't matter, but someone who has that high Sukhi initiation, even though rest of the people in the Guru Puja not initiated, just normal people, but at least that one person. So the chalk and the nectar would be blessed through the self-generation of the deity. Oneself as a self-generated, as let's say an example like Yamentaka. So if you go through the actual process, conjoining with the nectar blessing, sok blessing with the self-generation of Yametaka or the Vajrayogini, then do it. But since we are doing in the public, many people don't have initiation. Then, as a Vajra master, before going into Guru Puja, you already do the sadhana. You finish the sadhana. You finish the Yametaka sadhana or any of the deity sadhana. So you are already self-generated. So even though the word, you don't read the self-generation while we do the normal Guru Puja in the public, whenever the section comes, from your heart, you bless it. You bless the nectar. So that blessed nectar, even though the substance is alcohol, when the people taste it, they taste the nectar. They're not tasting alcohol. They are tasting nectar. They're tasting the blessing, because the blessing, the power of the self-generated deities, when you bless the nectar, even the substance is alcohol, the effect, the karma that comes from alcohol is already purified. Already purified. So therefore, when we look at in fact, the ultimate, the actual the substance of nectar is like a five unpleasant substance that when you read it, when you know, those are so one of the most filthy substance. But then through the power of the subgeneration, you transform that, that much power that carried by the self-generated in the deity by that one practitioner. So so yeah, but then also that doesn't mean that don't do Guru Puja if in case there's no one is self-initiated. No one is initiated with Hasidic Tantra initiation. You can still do the sutra aspect of the offering practices, like Lamrim prayers, and from the beginning there are still a lot of prayers that you can still do. You can still get together and name you can still carry as a Guru Puja. Then you do similar practice, and you then as far as concerned with the nectar, instead of using alcohol, rather use like black tea or pure water. Put some money pills, nectar pills as a blessing pills. Then you distribute even the substance, the meat. Only someone can able to purify, then you use it. Otherwise not supposed to. Otherwise is by nature. When you consume that, you it's a negative. You see, so so rather use what do you call? Some people use cheese, but then cheese also animal product. You can use some chocolates. You can or maybe chocolate also got milk. So you see, when you go through very detail of the karmic aspect, then you dig in. Wow, there's so many things to be clarified. You see, because most of the time we just go very surface. Just surface. Then when we dig in, there's so many things that we are still like everything mixed up like that. You see. So anyway, so can use maybe like a dry berries, like cranberries, or resin, like that, as just as a form of blessing, because if there's no one is initiated there like that. Verse 28. When I am overwhelmed by the sloth while practicing Dharma, it is the weapon of evil karma turning upon me for amassing obscuration to the sublime Dharma. From now on, I will undergo hardship for the sake of Dharma. So this one also very similar to verse 27. Overwhelmed by sloth while practicing Dharma. Again, is very much talking about laziness, dullness, losing interest, and a lot of unnecessary thoughts, that which against to practice Dharma, They say, oh, Dharma is no benefit, Oh, how much, I've been practicing for the past 20 years, but there's nothing changes comes in me. It doesn't bring me happiness, It doesn't make me rich. It doesn't make me beautiful, etc., etc. All these are the mind of sloth. You see, when we practice Dharma, then we say, oh, like even the thought, the same thing, yeah, same thing. Why I go for Dharma discourse to listen the same thing, I want new thing, I want new words, Oh, why I should go to the same Lama, I fed up with his face, I want to look for a new Lama, exciting Lama, exciting one, different look, different color, different name, all these are the mind of sloth. You see, these are all falls into laziness. You see, there's no sense of inspiration, motivation, to really like completely suck into, meaning completely devote into that Dharma. Like Lamrim, how many times we need to listen. In actual fact, Lamrim is the thing that we need to listen from the day one until we achieve state of full enlightenment. We have to, even we repeat 1 million times also, not enough. Like Lamrim, Like when we talk about just maybe the short lumbering, foundation of good quality, few pages, even you recite 100 times a day and entire your life, also not enough. Also not enough, you see. Because when we think of the benefit, each time you read, each time you refer to, the benefit of progressing in our spiritual realization is immense. Yeah, you see, like that. Then, you see, the moment we look for new words, we look for a like very elegant presentation, like academic kind of, like those good speaker, see, then our mind is getting lazy. You see, whenever we learn Dharma, we read the Dharma book, we listen to our Guru, we look for our inner development of wisdom, not looking for new words. You see, we are looking for blessing. We are looking for blessing. We are looking for greater understanding. Yes. If you are learning to greater understanding for what? To gain a wisdom of learning. But wisdom of learning happens when we know how to listen. Okay. Whenever we contemplate on Dharma, if we know how to contemplate, then we gain the wisdom of contemplation. When we meditate, when we know how to meditate, we gain the wisdom of meditation. Otherwise, how much you meditate, it doesn't benefit. How much you read, how much you know intellectually, but then the confirmation, the confidence you never receive. You see, so so therefore, you see, whenever we even the Guru repeating the same thing 1,000 times, you look for the blessing in your heart of hearing the same thing. When you start to do that, each time when you hear next time, the next repetition, you already gain extra wisdom in your heart, extra understanding, deeper understanding, or maybe firmer. You already understood, but now your conviction in that understanding becomes so firm, nothing can destroy it. Nothing external factor or even a non-virtuous friend come to wipe away that understanding, cannot. Even your own delusion want to delete that, cannot. You see, so like that. That's why in Tibet, even today's time, those serious practitioners, the same teaching, same text, the same way of teaching, they listen they listen again and again. Let's say one guru teaching the same teaching here, the disciple go and listen here. That guru teaching the same teaching there, the disciple put effort to go and listen there. You see, then most of the traditional teachers, especially focusing more on the blessing, is more of oral transmission, not much of explanation. They very much read the root line. That's it. They read the root line and very, very, there's not much addition, not much interpreting, because even the guru side, they just focus on the blessing. As long as at least there's one person that come here to listen for blessing, so I provide this as a blessing because I carry the transmission of the teaching, so I pass down. So it doesn't really put much effort to let the student to have a new thinking, or new understanding, is more of the blessing. That's why the traditional Lama, when you go to listen, most of the time it's a reading one, the same teaching, or maybe entire their life, they keep repeating the same thing. And when this Lama sometimes get out of the monastery, people who come to listen to them, they get bored. And some people even emphasize, they don't even say, like, they don't know how to teach. They don't know how to expand their way of teaching the Dharma to the greater audience. You say same thing. Some people even get a criticism like that. But these great lamas are authentic lama, realized lama, like that. You see, realized teacher. You see, and And sometimes, a person like me, like distract here, distract there, like blah 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 blah, like never ending, never ending blah blah blah. Uh, uh, you see how much benefit don't know. When we really think about transmitting the blessing. You see, yeah. But of course, people who put effort to give new examples, try to get out of the 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 limited wording that has in the root text, and try to gain more new words and new examples, in the intention of providing the student to have a greater understanding. Yeah, then that has its own meaning. Like many of my way of teaching is I try to find any teaching that is relevant to each and individual's this very way of life, that can able to relate to this very moments, our way of life. The Dharma can able to take as a guidance to the way of life. You see, so so that's why sometimes I myself put into a very, very, very messy position. Just try to interpret into a very loose and easy, and try to relate to our day-to-day life. But then in between that, then sometimes I lost track. Yeah, again due to the lacking of wisdom and merit, and sometimes happen like that. So anyway, the point is we are talking about the meaning of sloth while practicing Dharma. Huge obstacle, huge obstacle. Okay, so now if such thing happen, is the karma amassing obscuration to the sublime Dharma. So the karma is such things are result of very much causing causing obstacle to a Dharma practitioner, Dharma facilities, like including destroying scriptures, destroying Dharma resources. You see, like that. You see, and there's so much danger that we also sometimes may commit that. We have so many Dharma books. Everywhere we go, we take tags and mantras, this and that, and sometimes we just discard them. Sometimes neglect them. Sometimes don't respect them. You see, sometimes we just simply throw away with the rest, with other rubbish. You see, so therefore there's a particular practice of how to take care of the Dharma material. Even if you need to burn them, you need to burn without committing the karma. Rather, there's some virtue in that. So, an example, at least there are other rituals to do, but at least reciting like Hasutra mantra, like Tayata Katakata Paragata Parasangata Buddhya Soha, or reciting the interdependent arising mantra, at least, or while burning those Dharma material like the text or that which you want to burn it, then meditate on emptiness, taking the object of that Dharma text, the letters, the paper, everything, see in the nature of lack of inherent existence, see in the nature of voidness of intrinsic nature. Then that intrinsic nature, the object that carries that intrinsic nature, the voidness of intrinsic nature or inherent nature, dissolving into the it is own absolute nature of voidness, which is the nature of the fire too. So you meditate like that, then you burn. You see, then you won't commit the karma of abandoning Dharma. So here the main karma, you see, amassing obscuration to the sublime Dharma is the action of abandoning Dharma, which regarded very heavy karma, you see. So these are the methods. Then if we go pilgrimage, let's say an example, if we go pilgrimage, we walk, like let's say an example, in Buddha Stupa, there's many labels that to go. And from the very ground, it's already filled holy objects, like Buddha's Dharma images, like at least the whole stupa is representation of Buddha's mind. So it is holy. But people just go up there because it's nice view, and nice view like that. Take picture and go around, and like that. And those are very heavy karma, especially, someone who know the differentiations of how the karma works, then still, committed even heavier karma if you don't carry the antidote. And those who don't know, they create also a lot of karma, because ignorance itself is the heaviest karma. Now you see. So therefore, when we go, if in case happen to walk on that, then meditate on emptiness. Every single atoms that you are working on, see in the voidness of intrinsic nature or inherent nature. And yourself, your feet, everything, also lack of inherent intrinsic nature. And just simply you are like kind of union, emerge with one taste, one nature. Nothing is higher, nothing is lower, same taste. So therefore, then you don't commit the karma of abandoning or disrespecting like that. Some great lamas, there are many stories. Like an example, the Tijang Dorjichang, when he first visited the Swayambhu Stupa, when he was going from the ground, when he look up entire hill, for him, he see the stack of wisdom sutra, completely filled with the sutra. Then on top is the relic stupa, like that. So he not dare to climb up. The stupa is only on top for the common view. The rest is just a mountain and very filthy, filled with the rubbish, filled with the mangi. That's called mangi temple. There's plenty of mangi, dust. But then for someone who has omniscience, like that. My late guru, when he go to pilgrimage in the Swayambhu, yes, he tell us the story of Tijang Dorjichang's expression, and he himself he don't really claim, but then the way how he behaved, you can clearly show to us that all these are the holy object. It's not an ordinary hill. You see, like that. Yeah. So if in case, at least we know that there are pure beings that who have seen that. So let's say if we happen to go for pilgrimage in the Swayambhu Stupa, if we really want to go on top, then we have to carry the correct setting motivation or meditation. At least reciting the mantra of Hasutra, etc., like that. Then in our prayer rooms or in our house, in the center, in the monasteries, the way to handle the Dharma books, not only Dharma books, Vajra, Bell, Mala, puja texts, the flies, the Dharma tablet, which you got Buddha's image, Guru's image. Then you distribute it, then you just, put on the floor. So, put on the floor. If someone who already practicing Dharma, that's a huge fault, that to be educated. Otherwise, it will create a karma of, here, amassing obscuration to Dharma. In another word, abandoning Dharma, heavy karma. Then that will, hallucinate our mind or create a lot of obstacle when we practice Dharma. You see, so therefore, to have a very nice table, why you can see in the monasteries, especially you look at the best example is like you look at the table of a guru. Why you arrange so magnificent table for the guru? Why? Because on the table, because guru put the text. Why guru also happily accept beautiful throne? Because respect to the Dharma. Why guru accept magnificent, beautiful table? Which wow, so beautiful in color, so beautiful in carving, so beautiful in a cover. Why? Because of that need to be used as a basis for Dharma items like Vajra bell. Vajra is a method, bodhicitta, and the method, the clear light. Then the bell wisdom, emptiness. You see. What's it? The Vajra great bliss, and the bell is the clear light wisdom. Is that's the representation. You see, these images are illustration of Buddha's wisdom. You see, when we touch, when we feel, when we think, if you are capable, we immediately have to think the ultimate reason of that. If not, at least use the medium of that object of bell and the Vajra, for us to get to understand the ultimate Dharma. You see, then the text, even one single word that expresses the Dharma, like syllable Om or syllable Na, has to be respected like that. So of course, we may not arrange like magnificent like what you arrange for the guru, but also for every individual, at least have a nice clean table, or even it cannot afford proper table, but then maybe just a box, but then at least on top, you can put clean shawl or clean cloth. In short, it has to be beautiful. It has to be elegant. It has to be nice. It has to be good. And just doing that, you create so much merit. You create so much good karma. And you create so much antidote to the obstacle, antidote to the obstacle to the Dharma. Unbelievable, you see. Unbelievable. Then those newcomers, from very first time when it comes to Dharma center, this basic thing should be educated. Because it is helpful for them. You see, and these are taught at the later. Then in between, they commit so much negative karma. They come to the place where they're supposed to accumulate a lot of virtue, but at the same time they commit so many extra new negative karma. You see, so so these are it's very simple thing, but then it's so easy for us to neglect or forget. And in some cases, you can also witness, people put the Dharma text below their knee. Maybe the knee is not comfortable, so just to support, put the book under knee like that. And there's even danger of putting you under your buttock, for sitting. You never know, And some people put, newspaper under buttock, isn't it? So Dharma book, you care for your buttock and you put Dharma book under buttock. There's a danger, You see, so all these are very important. Very important. So, like in the monastery, from the first day, they teach this basic thing. So from the first day, we know the moment accidentally, because little kids are so naughty, so distracted. So the prayer books, suddenly happen to touch the ground, immediately we put on the ground like that, touch the ground, like that, So like that, immediately put like that, like this. You see, very little kid already should be educated that, and that will accumulate so much merit, and that will clear so much obstacle to the Dharma, like that. You see, yeah. Then, if possible, the Dharma books are wrapped, not like ordinary book. You wrapped with nice clothes, or nice cover, And when you carry, you don't carry like a normal book. You carry with so much respect, like you're carrying a precious relics. If you carry precious relics, how would you carry? You see, the ultimate relics, it contained within the Dharma words, the Dharma text, like that. You see, so the reason for saying this is like there's so much opportunity to accumulate merit just by taking care of your Dharma book, taking care of your Vajra bell. Just with that, you create so much merit. Every single action, creates so much merit, you see. So in the center, the altars where you host Buddha, where you host sculpture, even in case at one single corner you host one stupa, if you host one prayer wheel, if you host one small satsa, it has to be so beautiful. It has to, it's opportunity for that organization, opportunity for that center, opportunity for that student, whoever involved. Is a huge opportunity to accumulate merit. So this is the way how skillful means Buddha are benefiting us, giving us so much opportunity. You see, so you make as beautiful as possible. That's why the altar, make as magnificent, as beautiful as possible from every aspect. And the more the beautiful altar, the more the beautiful the gomba, the more the beautiful, even where you keep the chata, that shows how much you respect the Buddha, how much you respect the Dharma. That shows like that. You see, so it's a very, very, very serious thing. Very serious, very basic, but very important. And this is something they have to practice all the time. You see. So therefore, from now on, I will undergo hardship for the sake of Dharma. So hardship here, even though use hardship means, diligent effort, joyous effort. So knowing what are the consequences if we don't do, knowing what are the advantages that, if we do, then you always, put effort to beautify, to make it better. You see. Let's say in your garden got a stupa and a statue. You cannot say, already done enough. It's already enough, beautiful. No, that's limitless. You can plant new flowers. You can offer paint to the statues if the paint is going off. If there's gold, then you offer new gold, because each time you get opportunity to do so, this is Buddha's activities of skillfulness for us sentient beings to accumulate merit. Each time, you see. So sometimes we say, oh, it's so much problem, so many statues, so many, let's say, especially in the outdoor, so much, spider webs, so much need to clean, so messy, sunburn, so you see, and if someone say like that, means didn't understand, didn't understand what means by the enlightened skillful means. This is a skillful means. It's not like Buddha giving hard time to us, like not like our Guru giving hard time to us by us to have many satsas, many statues, and making magnificent statues, magnificent altars. So Guru is not giving hard time to us. Guru don't even live there. Isn't it? It's for us to accumulate merit. You see, so like that. Even one flower, if there's a Buddha, is like you don't have to wait the center, like Dharma center, like committee to plant. If you can effort, you can plant a very beautiful flower. And if you have time, you volunteer to take care of the flowers that which are offering to the Buddhas. You see, and whoever comes into that temple, or whoever come towards that, they are the child of the Buddha. They are the family of the Buddha. Okay, like an example, in the Dharma centers, all the students all the people who come to Dharma, they are the child of the Buddha. They are the child of the Guru. You see, so when they see these beautiful flowers on the way, when they see beautiful altar, when they see beautiful offerings, everything, you are also accumulating merit. You see, so the teaching talks about, if you feed even one door to the dog of Guru, you accumulate immense of merit because of being Guru's dog. Unbelievable, isn't it? So you see, so wow. There's so much opportunity to accumulate merit. You see, like that. Then, you see, causing obstruction to the Dharma. Someone is meditating in samadhi, someone meditating in emptiness, someone pursuing the study of Dharma, then you become obstacle, you create this karma. Then someone who comes to the temple, who comes to the Dharma, our behavior, it become unpleasant. You make them uncomfortable. You make the newcomers, or you make anyone who comes to Dharma center, they feel not easy, because they are not mature yet, in the Dharma world. So they're very fragile. So when they come to the Dharma, the people who are senior there, not necessarily has to be director or committee or whatever, anyone who is before than that person, to the center, if you show unpleasant face, word, action, and discourage them, make them unpleasant, especially being obstacle for them to come again, huge karma, or these are the karma that which will harm ourselves to have so much obstacle in Dharma when we pursue Dharma. You see, so now we understand caring for other, especially in the environment of someone pursuing Dharma, being nice to them, being welcoming, being service to them. In fact, if first person who benefit yourself, you create so much karma, because why you are there? Because you want to receive the benefit of Dharma, isn't it? Both in learning and meditation and realizations, isn't it? You see, by treating that to other, you create so much merit. You see, so this is what the teaching is. You see, so, and it's so practical. It's not someone kind of like with his own way of thinking, emphasizing, for us to do that. No, this is Buddha's teaching. Dhamma Rakshita based this on what Buddha have cultivated. You see, so it's amazing. Yeah. Oh. Then, verse 29, when I delight in afflictions and greatly distracted, it is the weapon of evil karma turning upon me, for not contemplating impermanent and defect of silent existence. From now on, I will increase my dissatisfaction with the silent existence. Delight in afflictions, indulging in, not reframing, indulging in deeds through thinking, through verbally, action in attachment, aversion, ignorance, etc. Then all our activities are completely stay away from committing dharma, which is called distracted. If such thing happens, we have a very least or none or least time to learn dharma, cultivate dharma, and integrate dharma. In our thoughts, in our actions. That means we are distracted. That means we are delighted in the afflictions. You see. So if such thing is happening to us now, that means it's the karma turning upon us for not contemplating impermanence and defect of cycles. It's because of not contemplating, in the past, not contemplating, don't have an imprint of contemplation on impermanent nature and the defect of silent existence of our life because of that. So therefore, from now on, increase my dissatisfaction with silent existence. From now on, must think, understand, reflect, meditate on the nature of life, nature of samsara, nature of existence, nature of everything, nature of family, friends, nature of enemies, nature of rest of the other existence, whatever you pursue, whatever comes in your way, good or bad, everything lies in the nature of impermanence. So this is very important. So in all teachings, the emphasis is on the needed to learn and cultivate and meditate and carry in our mindfulness all the time. One of the teaching that is most important is on death and impermanent. Whether do with Lamrim, whether do with Lojong, whether do with any teaching. That is one of the most important emphasis. In particularly for the Kadamba masters tradition, the Kadamba masters, always emphasize that if you forget to think of death and impermanent in the morning, the entire morning unable to practice pure Dharma. So then the Kadamba master regard the entire morning is wasted. You see. So if we want to carry our entire 24 hours into a Dharma, then we need to have a great influence of the understanding of the wisdom of death and impermanent, understanding of nature of death and impermanent, like that. It regarded that there's a two major prerequisites, two major causes or the condition that will help us to be consistent in the practice of Dharma. One is, cultivation of understanding and cultivation of precious memory. But second one is the death and impermanent. And as someone like us who is in the most distracted world, most destructive environment, then the death and impermanent, thinking of death and impermanent is even more effective than the earlier method. So to support that, Nagarjuna's precious guardian, it says, always considering the impermanence of health and dominant, you thereby will make intense effort solely at the practice. So this is what Nagarjuna advised. This is what it meaning. So this way, we will not have a distraction of affliction, and also will not have a distractions of worldly matters, worldly concern. So distraction, like what Shantideva said in the Bodhisattva, that it says, I will have to depart, leaving everything, but not knowing this, I commit various sin for the sake of friend and foe. So because of not knowing the nature of death and impermanent, and that's the where the distraction comes. So the distraction is very much stuck or or in the service of attachment, to the loved one, bounded or in the service of, defending, through aversion to the enemy. You see, and these are called distraction. You see, distraction. So why we have so much attachment, grasping to the loved one? Because of not understanding the nature of death and impermanent of our life and our relationship and everything. Why we get so angry and always find way to destroy the enemy, have aversion towards the enemy, is because of not understanding the nature of death and impermanent in relation to yourself, in relation to the enemy, and in relation to the conduct, the action that you committed, with the enemy. You see, because of that. And also Nagarjuna says this: you duel, Nagarjuna Pressure Garden says that you duel among the cause of death, like a butter lamp standing in a strong breeze. And this is for us to educate ourselves. Our life is like that. You see, you duel among the cause of, death. We are, as I mentioned at the beginning, and giving an example, like the balloon, like a full air balloon in the pokey, completely filled with a needle, and with a forceful wind. So anytime, can be burst. In similar way, like what Lamrim taught, that we are surrounded by more condition for cause life and condition to give life. Even those conditions to give life or support the life, many become a cause of life. You see, there are so many people, who die with food that's supposed to be support of life. That, like so many people die in the motor crashes, aeroplane crashes. So many people die while enjoying things that they thought that this is to bring them happiness, bring them the benefit to their life, but that it become a cause of death, like that. You see, so we are very much similar, like a butter lamp, standing in the strong breeze. So these are the reason to think, to reflect on. Then in the Lamrim Chemo, from the collection of indicative verses, sutra, it says, the wise know that all who have come and will come perish. So Buddha said that. Leave this body and go to the next life. Therefore, be sure to engage in a pure behavior by avoiding the teaching. So we have to remember these teachings in order for us to really get the point, the wisdom. Right now, yes, we heard, we also know, but we don't gain the wisdom of understanding of death and impermanent, the nature of death and impermanent. Right now, if I ask each and every one of you, do you understand, nature of our life lies in the death and impermanent, like death is certain, time of death is uncertain, and every single moment, very next moment can be life after death. You say, yes, I understand, Geshela, don't have to talk about it, we all know, you see, but do you feel it? Do you feel the urgency to get ready? What would be most beneficial if really that happens now? Have we prepared? You say, oh, okay, I have to think about. That means we didn't get the wisdom, you see. or say, no, I will wait. Yes, I understand, but right now I have to take care of my children. I have to take care of my business. I'm still young. Yes, I know. Must focus on Dharma. That is beneficial. Yes, the nature of life is dead and impermanent. Yes, but the answer to that is you understand, but didn't gain the wisdom of understanding. So understanding and gaining the wisdom of understanding. You learn, yes, you learn, but gaining the wisdom of learning is two different things. So we need to gain the wisdom of understanding and learning. So that's why by reflecting on these words, these teachings, and repeating it like a chanting Om Mani Padme Hum again and again, it helps, you see. So like as I mentioned before, here the Nagarjuna in the Precious Garland said, the cause of death are many, those staying alive few. These two become cause of death. Thus always practice the teaching. You see, practice the teaching as if there's no next moment. Then there's no next moment of precious human rebirth. Practice the teaching in the present moment fully. By understanding the nature of impermanence of life and nature of impermanence of everything. Then like in the Lamrim, like the three headings, death is certain, time of death is uncertain. At the time of death, nothing else except Dharma, nothing else will help us, for the future journey. And that's so true, you see. Yes, we need to earn money, we need to take care of living, we need to take care of a loved one, we need to make sure that don't have any more enemy, and the current enemy also don't continue to harm. Yes, we need to have a certain boundary, but simultaneously we also need to make sure that we are never stay away from the teaching, never stay away from the practice. So again, when we talk about that, never stay away. The essence when we talk about teaching in Mahayana Dharma, in Lojong, means never stay away from the cultivation of bodhicitta and emptiness. Never stay away from cultivation of love and compassion. So this is what I'm talking about. While we are working, we still cultivate bodhicitta and emptiness, isn't it? While we are earning so much money, we still can, expand our heart, bigger and bigger, and continue to develop the mind of detachment to your earning. Yeah, bank balance are increasing, but your attachment is decreasing to your earning. Yes, you have so many children and grandchildren, so many friends. You are continue to receiving more and more friends in your circle of life, but decreasing, attachment, grasping, to each and every one of them. And your heart is like completely like a neutral. Yes, you are talking to your loved one, you are living with your loved one, you are cared by your loved one, and you are also directly you are in service to your loved one, but suddenly there's someone stranger pop up right in front of you, and you have no hesitation to offer the same way that how you offer your care to your loved one. It's so pacified state of mind, so equalized state of your mind. It's like so big. Your heart is so big, so huge. You see, and that is the way to make our life meaningful, and that is the way to develop our spiritual progress, and that's the way to be most beneficial to all sentient beings, even while we are still in samsara. And there is no caution. By this way, we will achieve enlightenment as quick as possible, like that. Okay, so So keeping that in heart, then okay, I will quote another one more. Again, this is also from Nagarjuna's Precious Garland. Seeing that death is certain and that having died, you suffer from ill deeds. You should not commit ill deeds through there might be temporary pleasure. So, yeah, there may be temporary pleasure, samsaric pleasure, by indulging in desire grasping, by eliminating, your fear that you may gain some satisfaction, worldly satisfaction, but don't get distracted with that. You understand, as long as we are infused by delusion, and that becomes negative. And if that is the negative, we commit negative action, and that negative action, one will suffer when we die. We will suffer. So knowing that, then never should commit, ill deeds. Even to the cause of that you need to give away, temporary pleasure. So in the Precious Garland, it says, desire, hatred, ignorance, action that lead by that is a negative. It's a negative. You see, non-desire, non-hatred, non-ignorant action delivered by that is a virtue. So now we know very clearly, what is virtue, what is non-virtue, what is the consequences of virtue, what is the consequences of non-virtue. You see. So what means by meaningful life? Means virtuous life. You see. Or what do you mean by worldly life? Negative life. Worldly life doesn't mean lay life. Worldly life means negative life. So we can be lay person, we can be sangha, doesn't matter what your choice, but being worldly is harmful for us. Being worldly means being under the influence of delusion. So it's as long as we live our daily activities under the influence of delusion, like what else, like Nagarjuna says, all become negative. So that's the reason. So you see, so anything we do, starting from our intention, we carry the intention which is free from ignorance. Free from ignorance means carry the wisdom of detachment, carry the wisdom of there's basic understanding of interdependent rising, basic understanding of lack of true existence, etc. So virtue, no hatred means lot of patience, carrying the heart of patient understanding. There's no ill will at all. Then action none with attachment means there's no grasping. There's no self-cherishing interest. There's no self-cherishing, self-centered ego. There's no self-centered ego in any action you do. So that is the free of attachment. And any action you perform, that is a virtue like that. Okay. So I will stop here. Yeah. So we dedicate this merit. So there are many lists, name lists, but there are few, are in urgent. Geshe Jamba, Sister Kwang, Tony, Mr. Ha, Ochibat, Madam R.Q. Cheng, David, Chris Price, Julie Kwan, to be free, and all the others that who have requested prayer dedication for their good health, for their clearing of their obstacle in business, relationship, etc., and also dedicate to those, each and every one of you know that who need such kind of prayer dedication. You dedicate that, and to dedicate to all, and also dedicate to those who pass away. In particular, last 49 days. Just recently, for a whole week, there's a huge, great bushfire in Western Australia. Can imagine how many bacteria and how many animals and worms have died. So keep all of them in our heart. and we dedicate our collective merit for their for them. Then also Lian Pet, Ong Chu Yi, Chen Kok Hong, Little Harvey, Lian Ru Feng, John Fu Feng, John Yu Feng, Scott Van Winkle, Madam K. R. Lake, and any people or any animal that you know that they recently passed away. Then we dedicate this merit, and also anyone who passed away through coronavirus, through other diseases, to free from suffering of death, suffering intermediate state, suffering of rebirth, and actualize higher precious human rebirth, where they meet a perfect Mayanic Guru. Then from there, within that very lifetime, they actualize a state of full enlightenment. We also dedicate this collective merit from this practice, from this session, for the happiness, for the temporary happiness and the ultimate happiness, enlightenment of all sentient beings. May this collective merit be a complete cause for all the world leaders to purify, their ignorance, their anger, their selfishness, and they equip with all the great wisdom, compassion, love, understanding, tolerance, forgiveness, including those of leader organizations, those of leaders of family, and our own self who lead our life, to equip with all the virtuous qualities, so that the people, anyone under them, can able to live virtually and meaningfully and happily. We dedicate this quality merit for all the good people, like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Chapter Lama Sobarimpoche, all your spiritual gurus, and all the people who are source for the peace and happiness of the world, like yourself, your family members, to enjoy a long life, good health, prosperity, and fulfill all your aspirations accordingly. And dedicate this collective merit be complete cause for for all the Dharma organizations, like APMD organizations, APMD Dharma centers, projects, and all the monastery institutions, where they preserve the Dharma through extensive learning, extensive practice, to continue to flourish and clear all the inner outer secret obstacles and gather all the conducive conditions. Yeah, then we dedicate, in short, we dedicate just like the Bodhisattva Samantabhadra, Bodhisattva Cherese, Bodhisattva Manjushri, the way how they dedicate their merit for the benefit of all sentient beings equally, and ultimately, same way we too dedicate just like that, just like that. And finally, we dedicate, may this collective merit be complete cause for ourselves, to really to practice just like Dhammarashita, just like Lama Atisha, just like all the great Dhamma masters, like Lama Tsongkhapa, Nagarjuna, like our gurus, perfectly, and be complete cause of the benefit of numberless sentient beings, temporary happiness of the ultimate happiness, like that. Ajanjo Zemjoro Bajamaji Banam Jiju Jawani Bamabayan Gone Gundo Pevajo, Tony Tower, Bachamaji Banam Jiju Jawani Bamabayan Gone Gundo Pevajo, Ni Tower, Bajamaji Banam Jiju Jawani Bamabayan Gone Gundo Pevara show. Garira go wishing on the Pena de Wamalejo and the Cheresewa didn't just Shabbos about the dangerous G. To the judge, the job of the Jogo element of the Jebondo, Shabden, Jo, Jawagondo Yandalama, the damage, Belalon, Sadalam, there of the Doja Chanjo, Goman, you do show Chizanam, Kuzera, the Nangatele, Yamata, was a debit remission. To Mazeda do Juro, Semje never change, but you don't know, touch you to Venom, Tado Juan, better so I'm good, you know, but some Semjera Wako, Samba, Churchin, Rubetta, she show. Okay, thank you very much. Take care. Take care for yourself. Take care of each other. Okay, bye-bye. Oh yes. Happy Tibetan New Year. I think it's on 12th. of February. Happy Tibetan New Year to everyone. And the New Year is the starting of the Buddha's miracle deeds, which regarded great merit multiplying, blessed days. So whatever merit we accumulate, during those 15 days, in particularly on the full moon day, on the 15th, it will be so beneficial. So, at least during those 15 days, try our best to occupy our body, speech, and mind in accumulation of virtues, like recitation of prayers, mantras, reading Dharma books, doing any practices, physically, do as much as virtuous activities, and mentally try to meditate as much as possible, like bodhicitta, emptiness, like that. And also, the is a very, very important the month and the day during the miracle day for 5-6 days. The one of the great deeds of Lama Tsongkhapa, the great Molam prayer festival that initiated by Lama Tsongkhapa, which is one of his great deeds, also falls on during the Losar days. So usually it ends, on the 15th. So the massive, full day kind of prayers, virtuous activities that conduct, everywhere, on all the monasteries. So we too do our best individually to conduct as much virtue as possible. Okay. So thank you very much. Take care.